Nagoya is a city travelers skip on the way between Tokyo and Osaka, which is unfortunate because it has two of Japan's best castles and an industrial museum that slaps. 3 days is enough to see the Tokugawa strongholds, one real wooden keep, and a shrine built around a sword nobody's allowed to look at if you don't waste time on the wrong things. I mapped out the whole route in a template, so if you want it, the link's in the description. Autumn means cooler air, some rain, and castle photos without heatstroke. Just stash one indoor backup per day in case the weather turns. Day 1 is Tokugawa territory, a concrete castle with golden fish, a palace rebuilt right, and the private museum where the family kept their best stuff. Nagoya Castle was Tokugawa Ieyasu's power play after he won at Sekigahara, built to remind everyone who ran central Japan. The golden shachihoko on the roof are real mythical tigerfish that supposedly keep fires away, which feels optimistic for a building that burned down twice. The main keep is concrete and closed for reconstruction because Nagoya built it wrong after the war and is now fixing that in wood. Walk the grounds first while the light is good, because Honmaru Palace comes next, and that's where the interiors live. Honmaru Palace is the authentically restored part, completed in 2018 with enough gold leaf to explain where the budget went. This is where the Owari Tokugawa lord actually lived and received guests, and the sliding screens and polished floors show what castle life looked like at the top. It's indoors and heated, which makes it the place you want to be if the rain shows up. Remove your shoes, move slowly, and go deep, because the best rooms are the ones farthest from the entrance. Tokugawa Art Museum is the props room for everything you just saw: swords, armor, tea utensils, and illustrated scrolls. The Owari branch never threw away. The Owari were the wealthiest of the 3 Tokugawa houses, and they kept better souvenirs than most royal families. Dark galleries, glass cases, and the weight of inherited wealth, plus national treasures, including Tale of Genji scrolls and a trousseau built for a bride. Check the closing time and last entry window before you arrive, because this is the kind of museum that locks up early. Day 2 is the day trip, a 16th century wooden castle that survived everything, followed by an open-air village of Meiji-era buildings, someone rescued from demolition. Inuyama Castle is one of only 12 original keeps left in Japan, perched on a hill above the Kiso River since the 1530s. This is what Nagoya Castle wants to be when it grows up: actual timber, steep stairs, and creaky floors that smell like old wood. The stairs are narrow and not friendly to anyone with knee problems, but the river views from the top are why you climb them. Go early because the stair bottlenecks get real once the tour buses arrive, and autumn light on the river is worth the alarm clock. Museum Meiji-Mura is 60-plus buildings from 1868 to 1912, relocated here because someone decided Japan was throwing away too much architecture. You can walk through old banks, prisons, churches, and Frank Lloyd Wright's Imperial Hotel entrance hall, all saved from demolition. The Meiji era was Japan colliding with the West, and the hybrid architecture here shows that collision in real wood and brick. Pick a themed loop and skip the rest because the site is huge and your legs have limits, and check the last entry time before you commit. Sakai is Nagoya's main nightlife district, which means department stores, underground malls, and enough izakaya to recover from 2 days of walking. Oasis 21 is a glass and water shopping complex with a rooftop park that feels like a fever dream designed by a committee. Most of the area is covered or indoors, so rain doesn't change much, and the options for dinner are basically unlimited. Keep it flexible and pick something when you get here, because the neighborhood is where locals actually go out, not a tourist theme park. Day 3 mixes Shinto atmosphere, industrial history, and covered shopping streets, a spiritual morning into a machine afternoon into an unstructured food crawl. Atsuta-jingu is one of Shinto's most important shrines, housing the Kusanagi sword, one of the 3 imperial regalia, which is never displayed. The sword is the whole point, and also invisible, so the shrine built a museum in 2021 to explain why you can't see it. Tree-lined paths, gravel underfoot, and the quiet of a major religious site that predates most of the buildings around you. Go early because the atmosphere is better before the crowds, and the wooded grounds feel larger when you're not sharing them with tour groups. Toyota started as a loom company, and this red brick factory museum tells that story from fabric to cars with working machinery and clear exhibits. Sakichi Toyota's automated loom changed textile manufacturing before his family pivoted to automobiles, so this is the origin story. Clanking machinery demonstrations, the smell of old industry, and enough early cars to remind you how far engineering can wander. Catch a loom demo because they're loud and impressive, and plan 2 hours minimum because the site is bigger than you think. Osu Shotengai is Nagoya's best covered shopping streets, wrapped around Osu Kannon Temple, where walking while eating is genuinely encouraged. Over 1,200 shops and food stalls, thrift clothing, electronics, anime goods, and steam from whatever's frying nearby. The temple was moved here by Tokugawa Ieyasu in 1612, and the market grew around it like clutter in a garage that became a feature. Go hungry, bring cash for the smaller stalls, and use the temple as your landmark, because the covered arcades twist. 3 days in Nagoya gets you 2 very different castles. One invisible sword and a manufacturing story that starts with looms and ends with corollas. If you want the route mapped out with an interactive map view you can edit and share, the links in the description or pinned comment. Let me know which stop you'd swap out or keep, and I'll see you in the next one.